Oh, hi there, and welcome back to One of Swords TV. My name is Dan Amrick. My gaming nickname is One of Swords, and I am the Activision Community Manager, which means that I know some things that you might want to know. I try not to hold out on information, but if you have any specific questions about the game industry or how Activision does what it does, if I have insight on that, I will share it with you, but you have to ask me in an email. Just send it to youtube@oneofswords.com, and I'll do my best to answer it on a future show. This week's show is, we have a question from Matthew Papayanopulos, and I hope I'm saying that right, but I think I am. He says, I was wondering what your opinion was about Double Fine asking for more money to finish a game that they had funded on Kickstarter with a large amount of money in the first place. I was also wondering how a publisher would handle something like this if, say, Activision was paying for this game and Double Fine kept asking them for more money. Thanks. Good question, Matthew. And I should say, full disclosure, I am one of those backers. I backed Double Fine Adventure on Kickstarter, and they made like $4 million or something like that. It was crazy. You know, it was a big breakout hit, right? It was like, the people are now the publishers. Well, this is a very common thing that publishers deal with. And now the people, as the publishers, get to experience the thrill of being a game publisher. It's pretty common. It's actually pretty common that a developer would have ideas that exceed their budget or their time schedule or whatever. In this case, yeah, that big amount of money was far more than Double Fine ever thought they would get, and so they started expanding the game, and they wound up, you know, dreaming so big that they needed to adjust their plans again on how to do it, rather than compromise the game. And again, as an investor, I'm okay with that. Oh, I need to wait longer to get like the complete game that you want to do, and the whole reason I backed you in the first place is because I like your games? Sure, okay, you know, that's me. Other people may not have reacted that way, but it does happen, I think, more often than you might think. So just, let's see, it's like there's a little thought bubble, and the Blur logo is coming out of my head. Bizarre Creations did sort of a version of Blur when they were originally there, when they was first starting the game, and I played that version. It was the one that was on display at E3 2009. And afterwards, I was kind of like, oh, I was kind of hoping for more. And then I found out later when I got here, like, you know, everybody was hoping for more. And the truth was that Bizarre said, hey, we've got a better idea of how we can shape this game. It played very differently. It wasn't nearly as fast or as frantic or as fun or all the things that I actually love about Blur. But what they did is they had to come back to Activision, and they made their case. You know, just like if I were asking for a raise, or if, you know, a kid is asking for more for their allowance because they feel like they deserved it or whatever. Well, the developer has to go back to a publisher and say, this is why we want more money, we think we can do a better job, this is where we are, this is where we want to be, and this is how much money and time we think it's going to take for us to get there. And of course time is money, because, you know, the longer that you're paying these people to work on a game, if you even extend a game's development cycle by 6 months, that's a serious financial consideration for a publisher. But to Activision's credit, they said yes to Blur, and the Blur that we know today is far refined and much improved over the version that I played in 2009. But yeah, it was just a conversation. They had to go back and say, this is what we want to do, let us state our case, and in that case, Activision agreed with what they wanted to do. Skylanders was in a similar situation as well. Early on in the Skylanders development, not all of the things that we now take for granted about Skylanders, like the ability for a toy to work on any system, you know, like that you can take your 360, the character you've built up on your 360, take it to a friend's Wii or a PS3, and it works just fine. That wasn't originally part of the game's DNA. That wasn't part of the original design. It was one of many things that when they saw the potential of Skylanders, the team that was building Skylanders went back to Activision and said, all right, here's what we want to do, here's where we are, here's where we want to be. And to Activision's credit, you know, they made a case, and Activision, Bobby Kotick actually was one of the people that said, I totally get your vision. I totally see where this could go. I think this could be really big. What do we need to do? You know, what support do you need from us? And how much time, how much money are we talking? How much time are you talking? It becomes a conversation. So, yeah, Double Fine is kind of in that position now where they've come back to their publisher, which is people like me, you know, the people are funding that game, and have to give them the reality of this is how our game is being made. Their story is not uncommon in the traditional publishing world either. I think the reason it's shocking is because a lot of people don't understand quite how much work, time, effort, finances, you know, sweat, design goes into making a game. Games are super easy to play, but they're not super easy to make. And I think that, if nothing else, this Kickstarter campaign gives average gamers who have funded their project a reality check and a little education. And this is what developing games is. Things don't always go according to plan, but sometimes if you lengthen that plan and give more money to that plan, things can turn out better than you even expected they would in the first place when you gave it the green light. So there you go. Hopefully, and again, aside as a Kickstarter backer for this project, keep going, Double Fine. Make a great game. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. If you have a question about Activision or the way the games work here, if it's something that I have insight on, I'm happy to share it. I'll try. Send it to YouTube at oneofswords.com. In the meanwhile, go to oneofswords.com, just the website as you see it. I have giveaways, I have podcasts, I have news blurbs, I have videos, I have all kinds of things that you might find interesting if you like games and stuff. I'm Dan Amrich. Thanks for watching One of Swords TV, and I'll see you here next week.